Julia Trubkina shifts focus after explosive tell-all with Brandon Gibbs. Julia Trubkina, one of the most dynamic personalities to emerge from 90 Day, The Last Resort, is making headlines again, this time not for relationship drama, but for a powerful life update. After enduring a tense and emotionally charged tell-all with husband Brandon Gibbs, Julia is stepping into a new chapter, one centered on independence, self-care, and career growth. Originally from Russia, Julia left the vibrant energy of city life for the quiet, rural landscape of Virginia. Her early days in the U.S. were far from glamorous. She moved in with Brandon's parents and found herself working on their farm, a jarring shift for someone used to a more urban lifestyle. Though she eventually moved out with Brandon, their lives continued to be entangled with his parents' opinions and control, which often caused friction in their relationship. The couple has weathered several storms since their first appearance on 90 Day Fiancé. From clashing on everything from nightlife to family planning, to confronting a painful cheating revelation, Julia and Brandon's love story has faced more than its fair share of challenges. Despite agreeing to work on their marriage during the finale of 90 Day, The Last Resort, tensions were far from resolved by the time they sat down for the reunion special. A turning point for Julia. Following the reunion, Julia took to Instagram to share a new side of her journey, one that suggests she may be shifting priorities in a major way. She posted a backstage photo from the tell-all, striking a confident pose in her elegant blue gown while holding a box from her business, Kingdom of Dogs. Her caption read, "Time to focus on myself, my dogs, my family, friends, my business." It was a declaration of independence that didn't go unnoticed. One follower, at Bare Naked Kitties, directly asked, "What? You're not gonna concentrate on your marriage with Brandon?" Julia's response was simple yet telling. "Why? I say family." While not outright dismissing Brandon, Julia notably chose not to include his name in the list of her priorities, raising questions about where their relationship stands now. What happened at the tell-all? During the emotionally intense reunion, Julia confronted a deeply personal issue that had lingered over her relationship for years. She admitted to kissing an ex-boyfriend back in Russia while she and Brandon were waiting for her K-1 visa approval. Although the incident happened years ago, Brandon still seemed emotionally raw and hurt by the revelation. Julia explained that at the time, they had gone through a rough patch and weren't in communication. But Brandon wasn't convinced. He described her behavior as acting like a single woman and openly admitted that he struggled to trust her. Even more surprising was the reaction from Brandon's parents. Known for being highly protective of their son and often critical of Julia, they shocked fans by supporting Julia over Brandon during the reunion. This unexpected shift emphasized just how complicated and emotionally layered the couple's situation had become. Why Julia is choosing herself now. Julia has remained faithful since moving to the U.S. and starting her new life with Brandon. Her frustration now stems from how long Brandon has held on to an issue that took place before their marriage even began. His inability to move forward and his warnings that he'd be out if anything like it happened again suggest a lack of trust that continues to weigh heavily on their dynamic. Julia has every reason to be disappointed. She stood by Brandon during critical health issues and agreed to remain in Virginia, even when her heart longed for the energy and opportunity of cities like Las Vegas. She even made the difficult decision to revisit her stance on having children, consulting American doctors after being diagnosed with a medical condition that initially made her wary of becoming a mother. Through all of this, Julia has consistently chosen to prioritize her marriage, her partner, and their future together. Her new Instagram post, however, marks a subtle but strong shift. She is now prioritizing herself and her passions, including her business and her beloved dogs. A new focus, Kingdom of Dogs. The timing of Julia's announcement couldn't be more symbolic. Standing backstage at the tell-all in full glam, Julia wasn't just wrapping up another chapter of reality TV drama. She was reintroducing herself on her own terms. Her business, Kingdom of Dogs, has become a growing part of her identity in the U.S. She's poured time and energy into building it from the ground up. And now, she's leaning into that entrepreneurial spirit even more. Fans have long admired Julia's resilience, and this latest pivot towards self-empowerment is yet another example of her evolution since arriving in America. She's no longer just Brandon's wife or the girl from the farm. She's a business owner, a dog lover, and a woman reclaiming her voice. Is divorce on the horizon? While Julia hasn't explicitly said she's ending things with Brandon, her decision to publicly prioritize everything else in her life, without even mentioning her husband, speaks volumes. The reunion reminded fans just how fragile their relationship is and how much healing would be required to truly move forward. Brandon's inability to let go of the past and his ongoing trust issues suggest the couple may still be on very different pages. Trust is foundational in any relationship, and Julia seems tired of carrying the emotional weight of a mistake she's long since addressed and grown from. Could Julia's renewed focus on self and career be laying the groundwork for a bigger life change, possibly a split from Brandon? It's too soon to say for sure, but signs certainly point to a woman preparing to stand on her own, no matter what happens next. Final thoughts. Julia Trubkina's journey from the Russian cityscape to rural Virginia has never been easy. She's faced culture shock, public judgment, and a marriage filled with compromise. But now, for the first time in a while, she appears to be truly prioritizing herself, and it's powerful to witness. Whether her marriage to Brandon survives or not, Julia is making it clear that she's no longer willing to be defined by the past or held back by anyone's expectations. Her focus is on what brings her joy and fulfillment, and for now, that means dogs, family, friends, and a future she's creating on her own terms.